It was an unusual day today to have John Corzine before the Ag Committee. At the same time, we had Eric Holder, Attorney General, before the Judiciary Committee. The main subject that we had today was Fast and Furious before Eric Holder, and we know that the federal government was involved in gun walking, guns that were bought in the United States from cooperating dealers, and then those guns were taken to Mexico, many of them. And we believe that one of those guns was used to kill Agent Brian Terry. But what we learned today from Eric Holder of this long saga of Fast and Furious is that even though he'd come before the committee on May 3rd and said that he only learned of Fast and Furious weeks before, he'd actually formally taken action before that period of time. When he had testified earlier in the day in answers to questions asked by Darrell Issa, Congressman from California, about whether he had delivered all of the information they'd requested with regard to communications and emails that was around the function of the communications on Fast and Furious, he said he had. But upon being questioned by Congressman Trent Franks in a little more of a subtle fashion, a little more of a precise fashion, Trent Franks discovered in the questions that he asked that Eric Holder had actually had access to more information than he had divulged to Darrell Issa. And so we don't have the whole story either with Eric Holder today. I also asked a series of questions about their investigation into the murder of Agent Brian Terry. And we found out for the first time, I believe, that there's an indictment that has taken place in conjunction with the investigation of the murder. What we don't know is who that is, and we don't know what the indictment is for, but I think for the first time we learned that there is an indictment, and perhaps there'll be a criminal prosecution. That's most likely. I hope they have caught the murderer of Brian Terry. That'd go a long ways toward solving this. But meanwhile, we have a government that was dysfunctional. We have at least 150, maybe as many as 300 Mexicans that have been killed by the guns that were run out of a southern part of the United States with the blessing of the Justice Department and the people that they regulate. And so we have Brian Terry, who is dead in a tragic death in a shooting. But for Brian Terry, think of 150 to maybe as many as 300 Mexicans who have also died as a result of this, and probably more coming until we recover all those weapons that were illegally delivered into Mexico.